Shalom, ladies and gentlemen. Today, as always, we'll be talking about our weekly Torah portion, Parshas Tetzaveh. Okay, don't be scared of the title. Yes, we will talk about Panties because it's directly related to our weekly Torah portion. Panties seemingly such an obvious accessory of our attire, of our clothes, but archaeologically our historians are saying that the first panties, or rather than the panties, but a wrapping of your loin, appeared in ancient Egypt approximately 3,000 plus years ago. And obviously the date rings the bell, because 33 centuries ago the Jewish people left Egypt. And exactly in our weekly Torah portion we are talking about panties. But let's slow down and explain where it's coming from. Our weekly Torah portion is dedicated mostly to the idea of the clothes that the priests and the high priest were wearing while serving in the temple, and describe in the most opulence the precious stones, the gold, the silver, the sewing, the connection, and so on. And each part of the clothes had a special meaning and had a special purpose. So after the description, very detailed description of all the clothes, all the garments of the high priest, it talks about how the high priest was wearing them, one after another in a special order, and only when it's already done, the wearing of the clothes, the Torah reminds us that you should create michnasei bad, the fabric panties or pantaloons, whatever you call it. Most likely it was more like a pantaloons because of the size, to the extent that without those underpants, the Kohen Gadol was not, or even the regular priest was not allowed to be even present in the temple. And this, in my opinion, was invention of the underpants or pantaloons or the panties, whatever you call it. Now, I believe that in this enrooted much deeper message from the weekly Torah portion, because the purpose of clothes, as well as the clothes of the high priest, was to impress. Yes, Rabbi in the book of the Moreh Nevuchim, the Guide of Paraplex, he explained that the whole opulence and the whole service was in place because the person that comes to the temple needs the wow effect, and it's an impression. And the clothes of the high priest, especially with all the opulence, was there to impress. But you do not impress with the underpants. You do not impress with the panties. Panties is something personal. But here, in this, it's enrooted very important message, because for sure this is a moment that the panties were invented. Because 2 weeks ago in the end of Parshas Yitro, we are talking about the priests that were climbing to the central altar, and it says that they cannot have a very wide step. They have to step in a very small steps, because back then, 2 weeks ago, the panties did not exist, and the private parts were shown to the altar, and was considered disrespect to the altar. And this is why Torah says, do not forget your panties after all the opulent clothes, because without it you cannot appear in the temple, you cannot serve in the temple, and to the extent that it's punishable by the capital punishment, by the death sentence. But the same function of the clothes we have nowadays as well. The clothes are there to impress. We receive the person, we perceive the person according to what they wear. Every group, every company, every society have their own clothes intellect, but nobody cares about your underwear, at least not at your work. Okay, depends what work do you have. But here the Torah gives us a very important lesson. Yes, the clothes there are for outside, and we have many attributes that show our relation with God, like tefillin and tzitzit, and you put your hat on, you have a beard, you have a pes. But our relationship with God is not only on outside, is on inside as well, even in our underwear, and much, much deeper. Thank you very much. Good luck. I see you next week.